We welcome you back to Longhorn Weekly with Coach Sark from here at Pluckers, the West Campus location here in Austin, and presented by the Texas Lottery. How about a nice round of applause for Longhorn legendary tight end Jermichael Finley is with us here tonight. It's good to see you.
Good to see you too, man.
I'm glad you made it. For folks who may not remember all that he did, because he did this in 2 seasons with the Longhorns. He's the number 3 on the all-time tight end list with 76 receptions for 947 yards. That's number 6 on the all-time tight end list. As a redshirt sophomore, he started all 13 games, caught 45 passes, number 3 on the single-season list for 575 yards and 2 touchdowns. And also then followed that up with or had been preceded by that being an honorable mention All-American as a freshman, and then went on to the NFL. 3rd-round draft pick, Super Bowl champion with the Green Bay Packers, and spent 6 seasons before injuries cut short your career. And we were talking about how fast time flies, right?
Man, time flies. I came back on campus. I forgot which game it was. I just saw these buildings just flying up. Austin going crazy, traffic crazy. I'm like, it wasn't like this back in the day.
No, it's grown quite a bit. You two have something in common in that at the highest level of college football, you both had 2 seasons to do your thing. And sometimes I feel like guys feel like they're fast-tracked a little bit, Sark, to do when you came in from JUCO to do it at BYU.
Well, yeah, it hits quick, and you got to be ready to play and you got to be ready to go. And hopefully you're surrounded by really good players that you can learn from and grow from, that Absolutely. You can get picked up quickly. Who were some of those guys for you? Like, I know I had a couple, but who stood out to you? You're like, man, I want to be like him.
He was actually here, David Thomas. When he left, I took his number also, number 16. Saw him playing a national title in 05, and I'm like, that guy is Mr. Reliable. He's going to do his plays right. He's going to be in the playroom doing everything possible to help his team win. And when he left, I took the number, and I just try to mimic everything David Thomas did.
Isn't that? Go ahead, Chris.
I started to say this. That's a pretty good model there with everything that
Absolutely.
guy did. Yeah.
Absolutely.
In your time in the NFL, we had Corey Redding in here last week, and Corey had give a real impassioned speech and talk about his time with the Ravens and all that sort of stuff. You were with the Super Bowl champion. You got hurt during the year, but you got a ring. You were part of that Super Bowl championship team with the Packers as well. What is the biggest difference and the similarities between being on a team like that Packers team that won Super Bowl 45, and being part of a team that's in the hunt annually on the college football level?
Absolutely. One thing that we did when we was here in my years 05 to 08, we prepared well. We was always ready. We went to Kansas State where it's no energy. Guess what we did? We created our own energy, and that's what we were big at. We had Vince Young at the time. We had Jamal Charles, who's the class clown, and what we did was when we went to the stadium, like at Kansas State or Texas Tech, where it's nothing out there. There's no scenery. You can't go eat the finer dinners or whatnot. But at the same time, you still had to come and do your job and play football. And that's what these guys did that I went to war with.
I think that you just mentioned a couple names, Jamal Charles. I was thinking about Colt McCoy.
Oh, yeah.
Like, talk about that team as you guys grew. You guys won a ton of games, right?
Yes, sir.
What was the culture? What was that like on a daily basis?
We was brothers. When we went into the locker room, we knew it was time to go to war. Or if we're in classroom, which was big for me, we kept each other accountable. If you wasn't in class, Colt McCoy, which he was a scholar, he's gonna call you out, and that's what you need: guys that's accountable, guys that's leaders, and know how to be a leader. I'm in the classroom or on the field.
Yeah,
that was big.
Was Quan Cosby one of those class clowns, or was he keeping you?
No, Quan Cosby was a smart guy. He was under Mr. Reliable also.
All right, we're visiting with Jermichael Finley. We'll have more coming up when Longhorn Weekly with Coach Sark from here. Pluckers continues in a moment. We welcome you back to Longhorn Weekly with Coach Sark, our special guest, lifetime Longhorn legendary tight end Jermichael Finley. That was a big moment of the game, obviously, getting turnovers. You talked about the importance of getting turnovers, and who else but Jalen Ford to help cause it, and Vernon Broughton to recover the fumble.
He's always Johnny on the spot. The guy, but good football players find the ball. Or, as we like to say, good football players the ball finds them.
Absolutely.
And he's been doing that throughout his career since we've been here, and that's big. And what was also big is not turning the ball over. We got to get back to taking care of that thing, which is huge as well.
Jermichael Finley's with us, who is back at school working on your degree and pursuing your career in coaching, and you're working at that Elevate U program. Tell folks a little bit about that.
Elevate U is a program. It describes my personality. It's up tempo. It's very speedy. It gets 45 minutes for the kids. Like, Coach Finn, you're killing me. I put the timer up, 45 minutes, and that's what we're doing. And that's what we do more. It's more resistant. Put resistant bands on them. I started this company developing now my 15-year-old. We started when he was 13, and I just saw him developing real fine and nice. And we do it with cone drills, we do it with ladders, but I implement the band with it. So I run with the resistant band with it. And he went out the next year and started going crazy on the field, killing them. And the next year I started this company, and now it just done took off. And you see kids all around the world prevailing and going up.
Could you have seen yourself as a coach when you were a player?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I just seen the time, the dedication. And I always said, as far as going to college and going to the National Football League, I think the coaches themselves work harder than the players. And I believe that. I stand by it. And, man, kudos to now the coaches here at the University of Texas. Coach Starks is doing a great job with it. And, man, I look forward every Saturday to actually checking you out and seeing what the boys do.
Well, first of all, I'm so fired up you're getting your degree, man, and
Yes,
that you're finishing that. I mean, and I think this speaks volumes to who you are as a person, but also you and your wife have 5 boys. You have a whole basketball team, man.
Man, it is like I say, I'm talking to John Bianco over there. He was like, man, your voice done got raspy. And I'm like screaming at the referees on Saturdays at their games, going and coach them up, tell them they're not doing it right, and they talk back. So, yeah, man, it's fun. It's very encouraging to myself. It keeps me out of a lot of trouble. And, man, I look forward to waking up every day, paying it forward to my kids and giving them the wisdom and the knowledge to move forward.
What's the age range for your 5 boys?
Oh, man, I got 18 months. I got 6, 8, 11, and 15.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like I say, we can. It's gonna be a package deal one day.
I love it.
I got a D lineman, a linebacker. I got a center. Got a quarterback. I got whatever you want.
7 on 17. Hey, last week was National Tight Ends Week, was it not?
Yes, sir.
You came up to the facility to hang out with our guys, with JT and Gunner. How was that? What was that all about?
It was awesome, man. Meeting JT actually without his helmet and all his gear on for the first time. The guy is energetic. He's a little, you know what I mean? He's going to be always smiling all the time. And, man, he was ready to go and pumped up. I know it was game day, so he was in game mode. And, man, what an athlete he is, man. And I look forward to seeing his career prevail. And he's filling them shoes pretty good.
Did you ever think there'd be a National Tight Ends Week, man?
I never thought. But once again, tight ends, what? Playmakers.
They are. And they're more and more, man, more and more that they're expanding their role for sure.
Absolutely.
Do you see a lot of difference in the tight end role, at least at the college game, now than when you played?
Oh, yeah, big time. Once again, now offenses, they're trying to score fast and often and put a lot of points on the board. So you got to utilize the tight end down the middle. And I see JT and the guys on the team doing it really well. Play action. You got to have a running back to have a tight end and use them in the middle of the field. So JT does a great job with that. Coach Stark does a great job with game planning and getting them boys ready to play.
What advice would you give to youngsters, kind of like your guys that are coming up, wanting to get involved in football? What's the best advice you could give to young guys wanting to come up playing football?
Absolutely. First, get your grades. Second of all, be coachable. Listen to the guys that have been there. Listen to the guys that's trying to give you instructions and do exactly what them guys tell you. And I'm a big film guy. I like to watch film to prepare for a walkthrough, then prepare for another film session, and then hit the field. So football is a game of, looking next down. So it's a game of just being consistent.
Were you a big film guy when you played here?
No,
I had a feeling I knew the answer to that. I just
now going into the coaching mentality, I know what it takes now. I was raw too.
So what's the hobby now? I heard something about golf, but I'm just.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Love golf. Probably play now golf probably 2 times a week. I run a golf outing once a year, and my game is getting there, and it's teaching me how to be patient because golf is a game you can't conquer. And now I'm playing pretty well. I call it 80s playing well for myself. And, man, I'm shooting pretty good. You play golf yourself?
I do. I love to
Are you
play
good?
golf. I'm like you. That's good to me.
What's the best part of your game?
Best part of my game is driving. I like to, stroke the ball. But once I get inside the 150 range, the finesse game.
The short game is the challenge.
I'm terrible. But then we go to putting.
You okay?
Yes, Mr. Reliable.
Here it is.
So you're drive for show and putt for dough.
Hey, putt for dough. You heard me?
He was always Mr. Reliable here. Jermichael Finley, it's great to see you again, J-Mike.
too,
Thanks for
man.
dropping by.
Absolutely.
Coming up, Coach Sark and I will talk about this week's opponent, the BYU Cougars, when we continue on the Longhorn Network and the Longhorn Radio Network from Lear.